Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Kalashanji Dham morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we're going to be reading from the 8th canto, chapter 16. We only have 4 texts to read as a team, and then we'll focus on text 21. So that's 8, 16, 18 through 21, and we'll focus on 21. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyantamarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master so kindly opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Nashtapreya Shabreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance on the classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering his service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental song is established as an irrevocable fact. Nashta prayasha breshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utam hashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. I said the last one, didn't I? So I obviously made a mistake. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, one should offer the respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, to Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the author. I guess I did Omegon the first two, huh? It's been a while since I've given class. Feels a little awkward. Okay, so 8:16, 18, did I say? 8:16, 18, I believe. Hare Krishna. 8:16, 18. Okay, we only have 4. Does somebody have the microphone?
Shukadeva Goswami said, no, Shukadeva Goswami continued, when Kashyapa Muni was thus requested by Aditi, he slightly smiled. Alas, he said, how powerful is the illusory energy of Lord Vishnu by which the entire world is bound by affection for children.
Kashyap Muni continued, what is this material body made of 5 elements? It is different from the spirit soul. Indeed, the spirit soul is completely different from the material elements from which the body is made. But because of bodily attachment, one is regarded as a husband or son. These illusory relationships are caused by misunderstanding.
My dear Aditi, engage in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of everything, who can subdue everyone's enemies, and who sits within everyone's heart. Only that Supreme Person, Krishna or Vasudeva, can bestow all auspicious benedictions upon everyone, for he is the spiritual master of the universe.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very merciful to the poor, will fulfill all your desires, for devotional service unto him is infallible. Any method other than devotional service is useless. That is my opinion.
Okay, and this is our focus verse. Let's go to the Sanskrit. Savidyasyati te kaman. Savidyasyati te kaman. Harir dina nukampanaha. Harir dina nukampanaha. Omagya Bhagavad Bhaktir. Omagya Bhagavad Bhaktir. Netrate Matir Mama. Netareti Matir Mama. Savidyasti te kaman. Harir dina nukampanaha. Omagya Bhagavad Bhaktir. Netrati Matir Mama. Please, Bolo. Avidya Sati Kama. Om Bhagavad Bhakti Ekati Matir Mama Avidasyati Kama Ekati Matir Nechati Matir Mama. Let's go to word for word, please. Together. Sa hi Vasudeva Vidyasyati will undoubtedly fulfill te your Kaman desires, Hari the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dina unto the poor, Anukampanaha very merciful, Amogha infallible, Bhagavad Bhaktihi devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Na not, Itara anything but Bhagavad Bhakti, Iti thus, Matihi opinion, Mama my. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very merciful to the poor, will fulfill all of your desires, for devotional service unto Him is infallible. Any method other than devotional service is useless. That is my opinion. Purport. There are three kinds of men who are called akama, mokshakama, and sarvakama. One who tries to get liberation from this material world is called mokshakama. One who wants to enjoy this material world to its fullest extent is called sarvakama, and one who is fulfilled all his desires and has no further material desires is called akama. A bhakta has no desire. Sarvapadi vinyar muktam tat para tivine nirmalam. He is purified and free from material desires. The moksha kami wants to achieve liberation by merging unto the existence of the Supreme Brahman. And because of this desire to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is not yet pure. And since those who want liberation are impure, what to speak of the karmis, who have so many desires to fulfill? Nonetheless, the Shastra says, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udardihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajite purusam param. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or desires to merge unto the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. Kassapa Muni saw that his wife Aditi had some material desires for the welfare of her sons, but still he advised her to render devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, everyone, regardless of whether he is a karmi, jnani, yogi, or bhakta, should invariably take shelter of the lotus feet of Vasudeva and render transcendental loving service unto him so that all his desires will be duly fulfilled. Krishna is Dina Anukampana. He is very merciful to everyone. Therefore, if one wants to fulfill his material desires, Krishna helps him. Of course, sometimes if a devotee is very sincere, the Lord, as a special favor to him, refuses to fulfill his material desires and directly blesses him with pure, unalloyed devotional service. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22, 38, 39, Krishna kahe ama vaje maja visaya sukhaha amrita chadi vishamage e baba murka ami vijna e murkahe visyase kene diba sva charanrita dia vishaya balalibya. Yes. Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, he is very, very foolish. Indeed, he is just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyments. Die. If the devotee maintains some material desire and at the same time very sincerely desires to engage at the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna may directly give him unalloyed devotional service and take away all his material desires and possessions. This is the Lord's special favor to devotees. Otherwise, if one takes to Krishna's devotional service but still has material desires to fulfill, he may become free from all material desires, as Dhruva Maharaj did. But this may take some time. However, if a very sincere devotee wants only Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna directly gives him the position of Sudha Bhakti, unalloyed devotional service. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is just so kind. You can see that when somebody comes to spiritual life and gets some knowledge, there's certain tendencies, right? You can see that there's a desire in the spirit soul in some way, shape, or form for all three of these, akama, moksha kama, and sarva kama. But because of the conditioning, we take them in the wrong way. We don't understand them in a way that is pure. And so we need the spiritual master, the Srila Prabhupada, and our spiritual masters to be able to explain it in the right way. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take moksha kama first. The desire for liberation. Right? Who likes suffering? No twisted people here that enjoy suffering, right? There's some people that love suffering, right? They do all kinds of weird stuff to do it. But the desire to avoid suffering and to feel, to be free from all suffering is natural, right? We don't want to suffer. So, what's the a logical solution for that? Well, one becomes spiritually advanced in some way, shape, or form, and hears about gets an understanding that this world is the energy of the Lord. And because they're so frustrating, because suffering often comes in the form of other living entities, it becomes logical to think, oh, my suffering is because of personal relationships. Let me forget those, and let me go to something that can't hurt me in this way. And you hear about the energy of the Lord, and you decide, oh, let me merge with that. It's very logical, actually. I've gone through so much suffering. I've gone through so much suffering from personal relationships. And renouncing them, oh, but I do want some liberation. I want some kind of calming effect. I want some kind of peace at mind. And I can't get that without some kind of spiritual energy. So let me go to the spiritual energy of the Lord. Let me merge with it. So, but Srila Prabhupada so expertly explains to us, you're not seeing the full picture. You're not seeing what that spiritual energy comes from. And a matter of fact, in Srila Prabhupada says in his books that liberation is given to the devotee in the form of the relationship with Krishna. So our liberation is ultimately supposed to be with our oneness with Krishna, and that I have no desires other than pleasing him, and Krishna reciprocates that by having no other desire than pleasing us. And we are one in intent. We have no desire other than what is Krishna's desire. And he reciprocates that. And therefore you become one. Right? Have you ever had some relationship where for some time you feel like, man, this person gets me and I get them, And we are like one spirit soul walking and working together. Have you ever had that experience? Huh? Somebody said something? Was it? With your parents? Oh, before marriage. Yeah. Yeah. That was my thought too, is at one point I felt like with my wife, I was just like, dude, we were inseparable. We were like she had no other interest in me, and I had no other, and you could feel this like, this oneness, but separate, right? And so, but because that material energy is temporary, it only lasts for so long, it becomes actually a part of our frustration, right? I want to feel like this all the time, but you can't give it to me, and frustration happens, and then, and we have so many difficulties. But the point is that's natural. It's natural to try to find someone where you feel like you're one soul with them. Yes. Right. But because unfortunately, we have a lack of knowledge, because we haven't met the spiritual master before we came to Srila Prabhupada, we misunderstand it. But the point is, you can see the natural instinct in the living entity to want liberation. But you need an expert spiritual master to get your perspective right. Sarvakama. The desire to enjoy completely the material energy, right? Srila Prabhupada says that one who wants to enjoy this material world to its fullest extent is a sarva-kami. Does anybody want to enjoy to their full extent? Yes. We're only doing what we're doing so that we can enjoy and become happy. Some people are doing this way and doing this way. And we've, because of the grace of a devotee, have come to understand that this will give us happiness. If we do this process, if we come here to the temple, if we listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, if we do this, then we're going to become happy. The natural instinct of the living entity is to enjoy completely, fully, in their minute way, right? So, being misguided, we start to try to enjoy material nature to the full extent. And so we see it as ours. This is my enjoyment. This object here is for me to try not to try. We don't even think try, right? This is for me to enjoy fully. And so we engage in this material nature, and like moksha-kama, similarly, we don't find complete satisfaction in it because it's temporary. You're walking through the desert, you're having a tough time, you can't drink, you're very thirsty, you see a mirage. Oh, there's water, I finally found water. What happens? You become very joyful, right? Oh, I finally found what I was looking for. Let me go. Then you get there to that space, that place that you see your relief, and it's not there, and how do you feel? Frustrated, right? That same thing that gave you joy and happiness and relief, even for some temporary time, when you get there, it becomes a source of your frustration. So this is material nature. Material nature has an illusion that if I get this, I will be happy. When we get it, then it's not what we thought, and it gives us frustration. But in the spiritual world, there is enjoyment that is filled with the fullest extent, filled to the fullest extent. But it's because it's Krishna's enjoyment. The living entity has no interest other than what will please Krishna. And then we can enjoy to the fullest extent. So you can see that it's not very illogical for the living entity to try to enjoy material nature. It's just doing it the wrong way. And so because of that, what do we need? we need a spiritual master to come and explain to us what really is going on. So this is karma, right? Quite often we've gotten to this point where we've tried to enjoy fully the material nature. We even to some degree have tried to merge into the supreme absolute energy of the Lord. And we found that it wasn't satisfying. And finally we got the mercy of the devotee to be able to explain it to us in the right way. So we should be very grateful that we've been given an opportunity to see things in the right light. Sometimes people are out there and they really want the truth. They really are sincere, but they've been misguided by so many things that aren't the truth, but the desire is there. So our duty as devotees is to take this mercy that we've gotten from Srila Prabhupada and be able to help others, to find other sincere people that want to understand the truth, and we give them simply what our Guru has given us. And then, when we give simply what our Guru has given us, they have an option. They have a choice to make. And that's their choice. So quite often, sometimes we get a little bit I don't want to say frustrated, but of frustration that people aren't listening, right? We're giving the instructions. But we can only do as much as we can do, and that we need to play our part and give simply what we've been given. And it's up to them to make the choice, right? Then, when we see that people are sincerely trying to make adjustments because of the instructions that our Guru has given us and that we're giving them, then we understand that this person is somebody that we can continue to make endeavors with. And we keep on helping them to progress in Krishna consciousness by giving them what our Guru has given us and seeing in them the sincere effort to make adjustments in their life to come to know that, understand it. I mention this because how many times we've heard Srila Prabhupada's instructions, and yet again and again and again, we need to hear it again and again and again and make adjustments and make adjustments and make adjustments. So the result of understanding the instruction isn't what we're looking for. We're looking for the attempt to make the adjustments based on the instructions. And when we see this, then we can understand that somebody is sincere. And when we see somebody who's sincere and willing to make adjustments in their life, doing the best that they can, then we should be very happy. This is somebody that has a genuine desire to serve Krishna. And so therefore, we need to be ready to find somebody who's sincere and do whatever we can to give them Srila Prabhupada and his instructions. So are we prepared? Are we reading Srila Prabhupada's books? Are we understanding the instructions that Srila Prabhupada did? And most importantly, are we sincerely trying to make adjustments based on the instructions that we're getting from Srila Prabhupada? Did I say that we are doing it perfectly? Did I say that we're even being successful in following those instructions? Nope. We're doing our best to make adjustments and do our best to follow those instructions. And that's all we can do, to be honest with you. Material nature is so strong. So it's material nature is 3 goddesses that Krishna loves with all of his heart, and they love him with all of their heart. And they've been given an instruction by Krishna, and they've taken that instruction and they understand it completely. Sarasvati, Lakshmi, and Durga, right? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. We can't fight these. We can't fight them. They're too strong. So we can simply pray to them, right? We can pray to Krishna, and we can pray to them. My dear Lakshmi, my dear Sarasvati, my dear Durga, I understand that you're a servant of the Lord. Please help me to serve Krishna. I know that you're serving Krishna. I would like to also serve Krishna. Please help me. Please use these different modes of material nature to help me grow. When we have this attitude that we're simply using everything for Krishna, then when the onslaught of material nature is upon us, because we are doing our sincere attempt to be devotees, and they are doing their duty, then it becomes nothing but a benefit. We will succeed. It might not look pretty. It might be tough. You might lose an arm in the war with material nature, with Maya. But with the right attitude and the sincere intent to try to serve Krishna, then we're guaranteed success. Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. So we should take something like this, an understanding of these different ways, these two different ways that people are trying to come to liberation or trying to come to Krishna in the wrong way. We should be able to identify by listening to people sincerely where they're at, and we should be able to give the instructions that we've been given by our spiritual master to help move them up. And when they're sincere, we should be willing to do anything for this person. Krishna gives us the greatest gift when there's somebody that we can touch even a little bit by giving the instructions of our spiritual master, and they take sincerely. So are we ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to find somebody sincere? Are you first ready to give the instructions that Srila Prabhupada's given? Are you ready to find somebody who's sincere? And when you find somebody sincere, are you willing to do anything for them? That's what we have to ask ourselves as devotees. Am I willing to put off to the side my issues, my problems, my things, me, and say, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, one who gives this to others is very, very dear to me. I want to be very, very dear to Krishna. Forget what I have. I want to give to them. Krishna will be very happy. So, I'm a little bit early, but maybe we can have a little bit longer discussion or comments. I believe I saw Nandini Mandaji. You had something to say? Maybe? Sorry, I was in a little roll there. There's a mic right there.
Well, I was just thinking, let's see, in the beginning of the purport, it states how Kasyapa Muni tried to pacify his wife, and she had material desires, so he told her to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what were her material desires? Her sons had been, cast away from the kingdom, and demons had approached. So she was in anxiety. So he felt that these were just material attachments and told her to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I was thinking that actually this is the very same thing of Dhruva Maharaj. He was also wanted a kingdom better than his father, his grandfathers, and he was told by his mother, again, go, and the only solace is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I guess the same thing for Prahlad. So that, what your class is about is the very same thing, is to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the parampara from Srila Prabhupada and the disciplic succession, our spiritual masters. And then when people are materially entangled, or maybe there's a little glimmer of, like you said, trying to find the truth, then you deliver that truth to understand God and how blissful it is to engage in His service. So that was just my comments. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
We really need to cultivate the quality of listening and be able to really hear people where they're coming from. They'll give you on a platter where they're at and what they need. And they'll tell you if they're sincere in taking instruction from Srila Prabhupada. We need to, and so when we are wrapped up in our issues and stuff, we often preach to people about our problems. And it's not easy. I'm not trying to say it's easy. It is very difficult to put aside our wants and our needs. However, by this process, we start to get such a desire to please Krishna, and that focus becomes so big and so magnificent that our problems can still be there. It's just like, oh well, I got to go do this. Let me get to this. Yeah. So when we listen to people and we truly hear, we can hear where they're coming from, and we can understand how to help them raise up to the next level. It's really important.
Yes.
I was thinking the same thing with Dhruva Maharaj too, and when Srila Prabhupada says it in the port, it's kind of nice. It's like, oh yeah,
Very nice. And actually, your point that you just made is very nice, is to, make friends. In other words, in the day, sometimes I remember when people would approach, it was just bam, 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 just hammer them. And that's actually much better to hear where they're at, make friends, make a really warm relationship, because in that way, they're more receptive to hear. People like to talk about themselves.
Yeah. The Kanishta Adhikari will do more bad or more difficulty than good preaching. We need to come up to the Madhyam Adhikari platform where we can understand that there's other people here besides us. Yes, there's other people, and that they do have a desire to serve the Supreme Person, and let me hear where they're at, and so therefore I can make adjustments based on them. But so many times we're in the Kanishta platform, just nope, you gotta serve Krishna like this, Krishna's like that, and you read Srila Prabhupada's books, and you become bewildered because you see how many angles Krishna comes at to help people. It's amazing. Any other comments, questions, thoughts? Gokulananda Prabhu? Oh. Please ask a question or make a comment, or I'm going to have to talk for 13 minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank
Hare
you for
Krishna.
your class.
Thank you.
You spoke a little bit about the oneness between the living entity and Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know that there's the Achinta Veda Tattva, which is the simultaneous oneness and difference. Could you speak to a little bit about the difference between Krishna and the living entity? What makes Krishna truly Asamordva?
So, see, that's the beautiful thing about Achinta Veda Tattva is actually said to be, it's not, what's the word used? It's, you can't understand it. What's the word? Inconceivably one and different, right? Okay. But when we become devotees and we hear from the spiritual master, we can actually start to understand it a little bit. Wait a minute. I can see that I want to be one with Krishna in that I want nothing other than what he wants. And whoa, he reciprocates in the same way. We're like one. We have no other interest. We're like, wait a minute. But Krishna has Krishna has his own personality. And so I have to have my own personality in how I give to Krishna to make him happy. So there's a oneness in intent and desire to serve each other, but there's a different way that I serve Krishna and Krishna reciprocates with me. It's almost embarrassing when you say Krishna serves me, right? When Krishna reciprocates. But there's a different flavor. I have a certain flavor that Krishna likes that no one other person can give. You have a flavor that you have that no one else can give to Krishna. And Krishna reciprocates it within a certain way. So, it's really amazing that I was listening to a debate last night between a Christian nationalist and a agnostic, woke, liberal. I like to listen to sometimes these debates and see where they come from. And it really is nice because when you hear Srila Prabhupada explain, you hear them ask questions and you're like, it's so easy, you know? So the liberal is arguing that, how should I say this? They're arguing that I forgot. Basically, here, I'll give it, this is not exact, but basically they were arguing that if God comes from morality and there's bad things that happens, then God's not moral. And so the point is I was coming from a Chinta, but wait a minute, you don't understand that God has his identity separate from the living entity, but it's all the same creation. They couldn't understand that the creation is under Krishna or comes from him, but they couldn't understand his personal identity and our personal intent, our personal, what am I trying to say? Our individuality. That people can do immoral things because they have individuality, right? It has nothing to do with Krishna. But they're from Krishna. So I'm sorry, that wasn't such a good explanation. I probably have to get into things that I don't want to get in from the argument. But the point is you can see these different arguments, and there's only half of the quarter or a millimeter of the truth being given. But yet, if you see it from Srila Prabhupada's perspective, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's true, but you're not missing this. You're missing this. You're missing this, and you're missing that. Now put it together. And then our duty is to find if somebody can actually take that sincerely and go, okay, I'm willing to adjust. But there are people that won't adjust. They'll just be like, nope, I don't want to hear it. And we say, Hare Krishna, good luck, thank you. Now I can go find somebody else that's sincere. No, somebody else that's, anyways, you get what I'm saying, I hope. I don't know if I'm answering your question though, but the point is that that Krishna is in the living entity have a relationship that's so unbelievably connected that there's a sense of oneness. But yet there is the individuality in that relationship. And it's natural to want to feel one with somebody. To have no other desire than them, and they have no other desire than you. But because we don't understand that there's a personality who has a relationship with that, we get frustrated because we're looking for that relationship in other people, and they fall short of it. So then we go, wait a minute. Personal relationship must not be the answer. Let me go to the energy of the Lord, because I'm not willing to not say that there is spirituality, there is transcendence, there is liberation. So I do it in a way that cuts out the pain. right? My theory is that the Mayavadis are actually people who are very what's it called when you predatory. I say this because they know that people are trying to find relationship and they're struggling in relationships with other people, and they go, haha, that's because you should go to the energy of the Lord and you're one with him. No, that's you're being predatory towards somebody who's having difficulties in relationships, and you're taking advantage of it. Instead, you can give them what Srila Prabhupada says, and says, well, you're just looking at it in the wrong way. You're looking for in other living entities, and the truth is that relationship, what you're looking for, is in the Supreme Person. What do you think?
I agree, Prabhu. I like what you said. I like the fact that you said that everyone does have an individuality. The individuality gives everyone an opportunity to make a free decision, and everyone reaps what they sow, so they reap the consequences of that decision, and that's often why there are ghastly things in the world, because people are doing ghastly things. And I like what you said. There was something else that I liked that you said.
Sorry, I said a lot.
It was in the beginning. It was... I'm not remembering, but I like that point. I like that point that everyone does have an individuality. That kind of goes to show that there is difference between the Supreme Lord and the individual living entity, and that even though there is a desire for service to each other, which can be seen as oneness, there is a lot of individuality that's also there, that's reciprocated in the spiritual life. And it's not a merger in the sense of that term. It's more of a reciprocative relationship.
Yeah, you don't lose your individuality.
Yeah.
Although you are living as one desire, you don't lose your individuality.
Mm-hmm.
People who want don't understand that they want to dissolve. They actually think they become Krishna, and that's the tough part. Is they think that, oh, let me become Krishna. And it's not. Let me become in one with Krishna's desire. And do you feel satisfied in the Chinta in the Chinta Beta Beta Tattva thought?
Yes. I think the example that you gave about that liberal example, it did touch that point, that people aren't seeing the fact that what they're doing will also have an effect on what kind of way Krishna reciprocates. So oftentimes people do think that, oh, maybe it's a subtle way of thinking that, oh, I'm merged with God, so why is ghastly things happening because I'm all good? But the fact is that no one in this planet is truly as good as God. And so, God reciprocates to every little desire that we have, every little activity that we do. He reciprocates in a unique way, and so that's why there may be difficult things to observe in this planet. Now we can't blame him for that. That's just his way of reciprocating our actions.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That was
Prabhu.
actually, thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
actually
Hare
the
Krishna.
argument they make. Is the Krishnas all of them. Yes, Sucharya month. Good. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for that discussion. So Srimati Nandini was mentioning how in the beginning we were also gung-ho and preachy, and so one time a guest wrote to Srila Prabhupada and said, Your Grace, he said, your disciples are so talkative and preaching and in your face, and he said the etiquette's not right. So Srila Prabhupada wrote back and he said, thank you for your points. He said, yes, sometimes they are a little too enthusiastic. He said, but they are my children. They are my disciples. He said, please forgive them. Please forgive me. He said, but their enthusiasm is so wonderful. So it just reminded me of Srila Prabhupada.
Sincerity of all of you is amazing. Can't imagine. You read the stories about how difficult it was, and the sincerity to serve Srila Prabhupada was just so much. It overcame so many things. Thank you, Mother Sucharya. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Moksha Kama ki jai. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding. Hare Krishna. Vanchikal patrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Krishna Tadi Hitamanasi Vedam Randaya Payadhi Jale Hitamanasi Vedam Vihitra Pahitra Vikramakhedam Vihita Pahitra Vikramakhedam Kesamadritam Kesamadritam Nina Sarira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Kesamadrita Nina Sarira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Japaya Dejale Vitapahan Vedam Vihita Vahi Nacharitam Vedam Pranaya Maya Dhijale Vitamanasi Vedam Vihita Vahi Nacharitam Vedam Kesamadrita Nina Sarira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Pulatari Isthati Tava Prithe Gite Viha Vipulatari Isthati Tava Prithe Dharani Dharanakina Sagragariste Gite Viha Vipulatari Tava Priste Dharani Dharanakina Sakragariste Dharani Dharanakina Sakragariste Eksamadhrita Urmachari Hirang Kesamadrita Urma Sarinam Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Kesamadrita Kesamadrita Sarinam Kesamadritam Urma Sarinam Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Vedam Payakidane Vita Manasi Vedam Bihi Kamahi Radari Sama Edam Vasati Dasana Sikhare Vasati Dasana Sikhare Dharani Tama Lagna Vasati Dasana Sikhare Dharani Tama Lagna Sachini Kalanka Kale Manimagana Vasati Dasana Sikhare Dharani Tama Lagna Vasati Dasana Sikhare Tama Lagna Sachini Kalanka Kale Manimagana Sachini Kalanka Kale Manimagana Samadhita Varaha Rupam Samadhita Varaha Rupam Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Samadhitam Varaharupam Samadhitam Varaharupam Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Manasi Vedam Sadan Apadhidan Sabapara Kamala Badi Dakhamadhuta Singam Sabapara Kamala Badi Sabakara Kamala Bari Nakhayat Bhuta Singham Sabakara Kamala Bari Nakhayat Bhuta Singham Dalita Hirannaka Siputano Bhringam Sabakara Kamala Bari Nakhamadhuta Singham Dalita Hirannakachipu Tanubhingam Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupan Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupan Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Samadhitam Narahari Rupam Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Prada Napaya Dhijane Vitamanasi Vedam Prada Chalayasi vikramani bali madhuta vamanal Chalayasi vikramani bali madhuta Padalakhani rajanita jana pavan Padalakhani rajanita jana pavan Kesamakita Vamana Rupan Kesamakita Vamana Rupan Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Hare Kesamakita Vamana Rupan Kesamakita Vamana Rupan Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Hare Krishna Tapati Jai Nitamanasi Vedam Krishna Tapati Jai Nitamanasi Vedam Vihitamahi Tamakedam Krishna Tapati Jai Yarodhiramani jagan Tapagata papam Yarodhiramani jagan Tapagata papam Napayasi payasi Amita bhavatapam